Hi, how are you guys?
We're doing
We're
great.
good.
How are you?
Yeah, good. You are back from Florida. How's your trip?
It's good. I got burned, and
Yeah.
I'm peeling right now.
Oh, I can sympathize very much with the English skin. Well, just thank you for taking the time. We're just going to do a quick interview and then just introduction, I guess, with you guys and the team. So we're so excited to have you be a part of the program. Kind of just how important is it to you to kind of expand your audience to the UK and further afield than America?
Yeah, I mean it's everything. I mean that's why we started doing music in the first place, was to try to reach as many people as we can. And we're really fortunate to have this opportunity this early in our career, and we'd be crazy not to take advantage of it. And we would hopefully one day get over to the UK. So
yeah, hopefully when all these regulations and everything are lifted. I saw that you guys were doing a show. Is it tonight you've got a show?
This past Tuesday.
Yeah, this past Tuesday we did.
How did it feel to be kind of back in front of people and not just behind the screen?
Yeah, no, it felt great. And while we were playing, we talked about all the live streams we've done, all the online music festivals and interviews and stuff, and it felt pretty good to be back out on a stage performing in front of people again, even though it was still social distancing. There were only a few tables inside, but it was good.
It's still being live and you're actually seeing people's faces, so
it's good to hear a clap every now and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine. James?
It helps our confidence.
Nice to meet you guys. You two met back in Kentucky. Tell us about how you got together and what that first writing session was like. And can you remember the first song that you wrote together?
Yeah.
I don't remember the title of it, but I remember how it goes. Some of it.
How's it go?
Put a band on your left hand, fit just right. Yeah.
We didn't know how to write a song when we first got together. But no, he had an internship in my hometown the summer after school ended. And it was one of those things where he said, shoot me a text when I get to town and we'll write a song. And we were both kind of like, yeah, whatever, that won't happen. I was bored, the first few weeks of summer, and I'm sure he was bored in Louisville, didn't really know anybody. So I texted him, he came over and we wrote a song. You call it a song, and
it's gonna be number one day.
Most of those first few that we wrote in Louisville were released on that first EP, so it was cool.
Yeah. And what were your kind of separate musical influences like? I know I've talked to you guys a bit about coming together, but did you have very different sounds, and did those change very much when you guys met?
Yeah, so whenever we first met, I was really big into like Rascal Flatts, Aerosmith.
Dan's a fan of that, so he'll be
Really?
approving and nodding.
Oh,
Rascal Flatts. They're the best.
I had every record of theirs growing up. Here recently I haven't, but yeah, it wasn't until I met Brooks that I even knew what like 2000 alternative rock was. So
thank me for that.
Yeah,
man. Definitely that kind of stuff's been a big influence. We still listen to a whole bunch of country, but
yeah,
I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Three Doors Down, another band, All Time Low. I just listen to all that stuff growing up, and he's more like right now, like you're into like kind of Post Malone type stuff. And
hip hop.
You can hear that influence in our music too, with the melodies and stuff.
Dan?
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about when you guys actually made the move down to Nashville and how different life suddenly became at that point, because I know it's a dream come true for every musician to move to Nashville, but it must be a big culture shock as well to experience that.
Definitely. Go ahead.
So it was kind of cool. Like in college, we're only 2 hours away. So our senior year of college, we'd come down to Nashville a couple times throughout the year just for like writers rounds or stuff like that. We actually didn't move to Nashville right when we graduated. We couldn't find jobs, and we didn't want to be those guys that just try to hustle and make it on the streets. So we both took jobs elsewhere, but continued to write over FaceTime. And then we wrote a song called Plain Crazy, which we put out back in 2018. And we're like, we got to do something. Like, we got to move to Nashville. So we set a date in the calendar. I mean, that's the only way you can do it, to set a date and move. So was definitely shocking.
Yeah, because those first couple months in town, we were kind of like, what are we doing? You know, like, how do we get into meetings? Who do we need to talk to? So it was a lot of going out, networking, and that part's kind of over now, thankfully.
Too much alcohol.
Because you never really know what to expect. And it was kind of like, we're spinning our wheels, we're writing songs, but what are we going to do with them? Are they even worth putting out? Are they just being used as a stepping stone? And thankfully we wrote one that we were able to get playlisted pretty well, and our manager kind of came on pretty quickly, so we got lucky early on.
How much would you say that moving to Nashville has changed your sound? Do you sense that your sound has evolved since moving to Nashville?
We talked about this the other day.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's funny you brought that up.
It feels like those first 3 singles compared to what we have not released yet, the songs that we have. And it's just a night and day difference. We're learning so much from people that we're writing with. And, you know, like radio plays a factor, and just the structure of a song in general, and how to more play in our actual story to our songs. I think we've gotten better at that. So
Yeah.
since then.
And even like since going out on the road and touring, like actually touring, we kind of go into a writer's room now thinking of like, you know, what do our fans or what does the crowd want to hear, you know, and not just going in there and writing for the fun of it, which is still fun, but going in with a purpose and like knowing what you're trying to accomplish. We didn't do that when we first moved to town. So we've definitely evolved since then.
Well, I think even with your latest track, some of these you know, there is that sort of, you feel like there's an evolution. Talking about that track, I mean, it's had such a great response. Did you guys kind of see the response that you get for that one? And did you feel something special, I guess, from the day you wrote it?
Definitely. That was one of the first, you could call it the first big writes that we had in Nashville. And it was the first one we got a demo for, and we made the track for in the write. And I think we played it like 100 times that day once we got it back. And it was like, this is so catchy. We had it for 2 years. So it's about 2 years old. But we always knew, like, if we released that one, people were going to like it.
Yeah.
It's got the bones to it.
Yeah. Like. You do just get that feeling, I guess, with the big ones. You're like, there's something special about this one.
Stadium ready, we like to say. So,
yeah.
Especially to start out 2020 or start out the year with like music, I think it was a great choice to kick it off and let people know, like, hey, we got more on the way, we're coming. So
yeah, 2020 is going to be your year.
Well,
wow.
2021.
Yeah, 2020. It's been an interesting one for sure.
It seems like you guys have already created a very engaged fan base, which is always a great start for any artist, and I think that's going to be really good for you long term. So what do you think it is that the fans have connected with most in your music, and why have you had such a great bond with the fans so far?
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, once you think about it, it is pretty cool. You see these people coming back and interacting, DMing us, and we always try to answer and have full-on conversations, or if they're in town, meet up with them. And I think that goes a long way. We went on the Brantley Gilbert cruise, the first annual one, and that was probably like the biggest building block to the relationships we have. A lot of those people formed our fan club and the other Facebook page, All Things SixForty1, and they posted everything we do, and it's created this community, which is pretty cool.
I think it's being authentic, just being two college guys, young and just energetic. Like, that's just who we are as people. So obviously it's going to transpose into our songs and our melodies and whatnot. And I think the fans can see that, and if you like it, like, you know, gravitate towards it. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now your sound is evolving since you got to Nashville, and you've really hit your stride. What can we expect from you going forward?
Yeah, it's gonna just
Big
a bunch
question.
of. Woo! Can't give it all away, huh? No, I'm kidding. It's our writing has evolved. So whether we're looking for a fun song or a deeper song, you're going to be able to tell that we put a lot of thought into that, a lot of energy too. Keep the energy high. and just being overall uniquely different in subtle ways from everybody else, because we want to start, this
Trend.
try to start be trendsetters in a safe way. So
In a safe way. I love that.
yeah, you can't go too far because
Not in
they
country
might
music.
kick us out of town. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know.
Play the game with it. And then I think Dan's going to ask the final question.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you went on the Brandon Gilbert cruise and you've shared the stage with lots of recognisable names so far. So how have those experiences shaped your music and also your live performances? Because I guess it's such a learning experience to share the stage with these guys.
Absolutely. I mean, we grew up listening to these people play, and we never thought we'd get the chance to play with them, which is a dream come true. And from that cruise, I mean, we've created a lot of artist-to-artist relationships that we definitely wouldn't have created if it wasn't for that. And I don't know, speaking for me personally, I mean, they taught us a lot just from watching them perform and seeing how they interact with the crowd or deal with like technical difficulties, like the smallest things. You can tell like they're professional about it, and it really ups our professional game as well. So
yeah,
it's
definitely.
all the little things you don't even think about, probably.
Right, exactly.
Cool. So we have two final very quick games for you guys. The first one is who's most likely. Who's most likely to burn the pizza?
I'll say me. I definitely. Well, yeah.
I've witnessed.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to cause a problem on Twitter?
Me.
He's the tweeter.
I'm the hothead. Can you not tell by my hair color?
Exactly.
Who's most likely to borrow the other one's clothes without telling them?
Ooh.
It's probably you.
It's probably me. Yeah.
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I got the style. Man.
He does. I always ask him for his input on everything.
There's one in every group. Be mistaken for another country artist.
Brooks.
What?
Probably. I don't look like anybody else.
Wait. Oh, like you mean like?
You do.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's been
I've
told,
gotten Michael Ray
yeah,
before.
He's
Yeah.
been told Michael Ray.
Interesting.
I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, I've gotten Michael Ray before. Definitely.
Who's most likely to sing Taylor Swift in the shower?
Me.
Yeah. He's the only one that can sing that high, so you got that one.
I got to practice.
Oh, yeah,
somewhere.
that helps. Yeah. And then the second game is just word association. So we'll say one of your songs and you've got to say the first word that springs to mind. Somebody's gonna.
Kiss your lips. All right, we can't say lyrics.
I would say long time coming. That's what I would say.
Like that.
Plain crazy.
I'd say Kickstarter.
Clouds.
Clouds.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Next kiss.
Lipstick. Yeah, you got a time clock on.
I don't know. Next kiss. That was it was cool. It was like our first ever like cut with a big writer. So I think I don't know what the word for it is. It was like
whatever.
Monumental.
Yeah.
Monumental.
Sure, there's your word.
Maybe
Cool.
I might.
Experimental.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Show you around.
Heartfelt.
Real. Yeah.
And the last one, I get that.
Catchy.
Melodic.
Oh,
Bobby.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to chat with us. And we're so excited to have you be a part of this.
Yeah, thanks so much for rescheduling. Sorry we had the
Oh my
problem.
God, don't be silly. We've all had so many technological issues this quarantine. It's not even funny. So we're all good.
You're right.
Well, these are a blast. We should do it again sometime.
Yeah. Speak to you guys soon.